Well, we do a little bit of everything um, in the past. Accompany to appointments, doctor's appointments, psychiatrically, medically. Um, Make sure that, take them to the bank, grocery stores, things like that. Just daily check-ins just to make sure that things are going well. Do medication checks and apartment inspections as well. So that's what we were doing. I'm still somewhat doing some of that. I'm kind of sticking to what we're calling the essentials. So I'm only seeing my consumers based on the needs for food um, and appointments. So um, medication and doctor's appointments. That's really it. That's as far as I'm doing with them, because anything else is not essential at this time. And that's really all that I can do. Like today I was with a consumer earlier.
Yeah.
He needed to go to the bank because he had to get his rent money together, which is fine. I'm considering that an essential because you don't have housing, that's it. So I made sure we did that. And then what I noticed when I saw him on Tuesday, because I went to his house on Tuesday as well, was that I don't think he knows how to take his medication correctly. Apparently the nurse at his day program, she was packing all of his meds for him. So she had packed enough to last to the 31st. And so when I saw him, he said that he knew how to take it, but then I looked and it just didn't look right to me. So I made sure that we stopped at the local Walgreens and I made him purchase a pill box, and we went back to his house and we packed everything.
All
So with
right.
him, that's one thing. With another consumer, she has two children, one who's autistic, so she wants to limit as much interaction as possible. And now that the food banks are closed in Essex, she really doesn't have a need to see me. So we just follow up about medication and she gets an injection, but she's trying to not get that. So I have to go over there one day to try to talk to her in person to see if something would, register with her about medication. As far as, taking medication and being home with your children, you need to make sure that you're as healthy as possible too.
What would you say is the state of the people you're serving? I mean, how are they coping with all of this?
I mean, some of them are. There's one that's pretty anxious. He take it takes some talking to and to get him to calm down and try to we both work on some breathing strategies and everything, so that's fine. There's another one who is a very big conspiracy theorist. So talking to her can be a lot at times. Like once she gets in the van with me, she just starts. And
Mhm.
so you have to like bring it back and let's talk about what's really happening. Let's not talk about what you've been reading, because sometimes these are just articles that people who think that this is a man-made type of disease are writing, and ailment, virus is writing. And let's just focus on what's being put out by news reports, opposed to what you've been reading from various websites.
You just explained to me why what you're doing right now is important to those you're serving. What would it look like if you weren't providing those services?
Well, if you weren't providing them, some of them wouldn't be. I feel like for me personally, I try to hold them accountable, at least for medication wise.
Uh-huh.
Like if someone needs to hold them accountable for certain things.
Yeah.
So if you're not there calling them or making visits or something, then who knows if they would even take medication, if they would really work on their ADLs.
Right.
So like even with the client I was with today, doing the pill box, and then when I went to his house on Tuesday, it was filthy. So I told him, okay, when I come back on Friday, this place needs to be clean. And when I came there today, he had it clean.
Mm-hmm.
So then there has to be some sort of accountability. So that's what I've been pushing with them.
Right. Because otherwise they wouldn't take their medication.
They wouldn't take medication. Their homes would be filthy. They wouldn't be showering, or at least putting on some sort of clean clothes, because if I have to, because I always tell them, if we're going outside, you need to be somewhat presentable. Like there shouldn't be body odors. I understand that for some people, that's a little more difficult. I understand. However, let's work towards that.
Right.
So even if ADLs aren't on your are part of your IRP goals, I still try to put it there some way.
Uh-huh. And if you had just like something you wanted people to know about the work that you're doing and your coworkers are doing, what would you want them to know?
It's hard. We're met with a lot of resistance sometimes. So it's difficult. It's not just, accompanying to appointments. You have to actually get to know the individual as well, because you have to have that rapport with them in order for them to feel comfortable to share anything with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be very difficult. Some people are very standoffish, and you have to like break that wall to get through to them. So it is difficult. It is not an easy position at all.
Right.